Hello world, we're live. It's me, the Jcrow, and today we're in Adobe Animate finishing off the Hatsune Miku's. 3, 2, 1, canvas reveal. Battle Cat Miku. So we've got a few to get through. It's colour on the zip lord. These two, Pepoyo and Chimera, they need colour and line, but let's start with the zip lord. Got a few final Mikus to get through, only 3, and one of them is just colour, so... I mean, the zip lord has a kind of complicated design. Oh my god, I should give her the green skin too. Incredible. Yeah, we were just talking, Astralize, about what people did for Halloween. Squeaky clean, you're looking at USB extenders. By extender, I mean I need one that I can use to plug in multiple USBs at once, Squeaky. So it's not a long USB. It's a, like, thing to increase the number of USB ports I have. So I need all this in the center, needs to be in the correct yellow. I don't trust it, so I'm just going to do it this way around. So most of what you got, Skelly, was just almond chocolate bars. That kind of sounds disappointing to me, though. I handed out a few family packs of like Haribos, and the kids were like, "Oh my god, for real?" And I'm like, "Yeah, if you want them." In one of the trick or treat goodie bags, so the goodie bags all had some sour sweets, some regular sweets, and a pot of bubbles. All of them did. And in a few of these little bags, there was also just a tin of garden peas. There was a group of kids that came. They came around in groups this year, which is safer, but it meant that we only actually had a knock on the door 2 times. But when it was opened, the 2 times it was knocked on, there was like hordes of like 18 kids at the door. So massive groups appeared, and on one of the groups, the kids were all like pushing to the front to get theirs first. And there was this one kid that kept getting pushed towards the back, and he was being really polite and waiting for his turn. And then when he got his bag, he like did a fist pump and cheered because he was worried there wasn't going to be one left for him, the goodie bags. Little did he know, his bag had the bonus tin of peas in it. Now he got sweets. It would have been mean to just be like, no sweets in this one particular bag, you just get a tin of peas. So it got all the same stuff as everyone else, but it just had a tin of peas in there because it's funny. We did it last year. One of the kids got a potato. No, a tin of peas. I was talking about adding a potato. That's why I said potato. Anyway, he got a tin of peas, and the parents later on said that he walked around eating the tin of peas as he was trick or treating. Like his favorite get was peas. Squeaky clean. You found one with 7 ports and an off switch. Nice, Skelly. You like the almond chocolate bars a lot. Okay, well that's good. Also, bye, Annabeth. Thanks for saying hi. Mochi, hello. How is everyone so far? So far, pretty chill. We were just talking about what people got for Halloween, what they dressed as. So the Zip Lord's eyes are like a very pale blue. So the main colour on Miku's eyes here should probably also be that very pale blue. It's a nice and easy one to start with. It's literally just slap the colour in and she's good. The others need line up first, but I did go and have another idea for a potential extra group project. Oh, and I have a date again for my hospital admission. We'll make a post or something about that maybe. So I'm going to be admitted into hospital at the end of this month, on the 21st. of November for conditioning, and then I'll have the transplant procedure done on the 27th. So I will be gone for around that time, assuming I can't stream from in the hospital. I'm tempted to test their connection to see if it's possible, because it'd be kind of funny, wouldn't it? It's like I want to see if it's doable. What colour hair? I suppose I could still give her Miku green hair, like blue-green. We could still give her the same coloured hair, because it's Miku, right? So the yarn should be. Let's start by making the ones towards the back a little darker in shade. But yeah, I'm looking into potentially trying to stream while I'm in, because one, I'm less likely to be driven crazy by it all. Huge selling point. Crazy. Might need different tones. I'm not sure about that blue, but it could also just be the shade of the... It could just be to do with the green, kind of washing it out, the green line art at the moment. Unless I make these slightly darker, and then even darker towards the back for more contrast. Don't worry, I'll fix the bits that have been coloured that aren't meant to be as well. Okay, and then slightly darker towards the back again. And then we'll colour the line art, and then it should all magically become very, very obvious to see. Okay. Mochi Stars, hope everything goes well, Jcrow, and Zipsuni Lordku. Wait, that one works pretty well. Possibilities, is it definitive this time? See, it is. It was definitive last time. The issue with last time was the person flaked last minute. So it turned out the person that was putting off my procedure last time by being like, oh, we're having communication issues with the donor. They can't do it this time, actually. It basically turned out they were putting it off because they were scared to do it and were jeopardizing, treatment on my end, rather than just saying, hey, I don't want to, and then eventually they said, hey, I don't want to. It just sucked that that's the point it had to get to. But yeah, it's confirmed again, so long as the person doesn't turn around and go, I'm scared of needles again. And if all goes well, I'll get to a point where I don't need any more treatment at all. I'll have to look into how to stream off mobile. So a few people I know stream off their phones. And streaming off the phone might be easier, especially if I can set up a way to film sketchbook, then I can at least do art that way. Let's go. Oops. Yeah, this is looking a lot nicer. No, it's slowly got blue lines and not green. Zipsuni Lord Q works pretty well, actually. I'll clean that in a moment. Nice. No camera tool. I don't need the camera right now. They'll have the right colour, and I need to fix these dots because they're bugging me. Was there another one? Does this mean that does Colby hate hate Miku now? Colby hates the Zip Lord. The hair. It's the green skin, right? And we've got 7 likes on the video. Thank you, everybody. Especially for starting late, damn. I was like panicking as well. I was there like, should I bother? Do I go live? Do I go live? I'm so late. The leak shall just be leak colours. We already have a leak Miku on here, actually. So we know a thing or two about leak-coloured Mikus. So I'm hoping everyone had a good Halloween then. Okay, this thing usually in the updated version has big blue eyes as well. Ooh, not like that. Usually it's kind of distressed too looking, but now it's like, I wonder what kind of songs this Miku variant would sing. Zips. Nice. Pretty cute. Pony. Okay. This is definitely going to be interesting when it drops. To see how people react, and it's like, you could get like a cute Miku, but there's also so many cursed ones. Like Goddess she's like got a funky theme. She's on theme with like the little bit spooky, a little bit crazy type theme, but she's cute. And then next to it, if you pause too late, you've got the horse. Um, Papoyo? Oh, that one needs coloring too. Forgot about that one. I've not forgot about this one. I forgot I've not colored this one. So do we want color or do we want line art? I think that one actually ended up with thinner line art than the others two. This was one of Bagoki's requests. Oh yeah, I don't know if did I mention I had an idea for another group project which could be cute. I need to finish off all the little projects I've got going before I go into the hospital. I need to feel like those are cleaned up and sorted out. And it's going to make things easy for me if I actually have a plan for what those streams are going to be. Even if it's just ends up being games. That's ugly, let's try it again. Just become web fishing streamer. But web fishing was cute. It's pretty cheap too. And it's easy to mod. So it could be a pretty fun community game actually. As far as getting people to play. Squeaky enjoyed it at least. You can build an aquarium, and if you buy chalk, you can also draw on the floor. Big pros there. I drew an Among Us and left it as a secret for Squeaky to find later. You can also unlock instruments and customizations for your little character. You can be a little cat or a dog or a fox. And Mochi, I had a lot of fun drawing Evil Vampire Kara on Halloween. I saw some of that. I was quite busy for Halloween. Because I know jumped in because I'm like, oh my gosh. And then there was, like I said, that I mentioned at the beginning of stream, November 1st, Squeaky Clean's birthday. So that was something else on the schedule. Much does arts. You have a speed paint if you want to watch. Ooh, is it on your channel currently? Currently uploaded? It's gotta be currently uploaded, otherwise why would you mention it? We'll check it out later. Lying through the line art on this one, really. I really like seeing Vocaloid producers' little designs for Mikus, where they have like their signature mascot design, like Pinocchio P. Where it's like it's a unique art style for the Mikus. And then after a while they end up with like a little mascot, or they just reuse particular Miku look and it becomes the mascot accidentally. You go. Cute. Okay, so she needs you uploaded it on Halloween. Oh yeah, you were quick on that. It's got bird rain playing in the background. It's a very blue Miku. Her skin and her dress are technically the same shade of blue. Not sure how I feel about that. There is a center part in the little hair clips too, so I should probably take care of that. Hitting all the fills. Might add some shading to help her stand out though. Oh, the undercut on the eyes being coloured pink. That was meant to stay grey for a reason. Like the inside of the eye is meant to be different shade. I'll just manually do all this bit first. Anyone in England looking forward to the fireworks soon? So we will be getting our fireworks soon. Tomorrow is the official bonfire night, which means there's going to be a lot of fireworks and bonfires tomorrow specifically. But the fireworks show Squeaky and I are attending are next. Oh, I was going to say it's next Saturday. We're going to be. I don't think we'll be back in time for stream next Saturday. I'm sorry, I keep missing lives. Okay, I think this one could benefit from some shadow details, maybe. Realistically, she'd probably also benefit from her line art being the stylized blue color. Considering we've got that right after, I don't think anyone's going to be mad that that's got the blue line art instead of the pink to keep her own theme, surely. I think that's all she needs. She just needs her line art to be the right color. Astro Blaze, they're already deafening me right now. Yeah, as soon as Halloween night finished, been hearing fireworks. People are like, right, that's one event over. Now for the one in 4 days. Right now, this minute. Okay, I'm gonna take the Miku color guide and I also want her face from this layer? Question mark? That one. And then as far as the limbs go, I can just relate them to the last Miku that actually had normal feet, which is miles away apparently. Don't worry, you won't be looking at this mess for long. I'm just foot, second foot. Okay, and then we don't need all that noise now. Just a Miku moment. Squeak. Oh. Tough, hi. Misty, hey. Welcome. Drawing Mikus. Oh, you requested Muscle Miku. Is that what you wanted? Did I ask? Did I check this in with you? Have you seen this? I think you have. Yes, you came at the end of last stream, right? So you have seen the Muscle Miku. So a lot of this one, details hidden behind the hair. Hello, you two. How was your Halloween? How's your Halloween weekend, Nisty? Saw the normal, basic white guy costume you dressed with. I remember looking at first and being like, wow, he's so plainly dressed today. Did someone like kill your spark or something? What happened? And then you were like, my Halloween costume, and it just all made sense. Been doing a lot of Jack and Colby concept art recently. I really want to develop that, but it's sketchbook stuff. But I'm like quite excited to share it. There's also a bunch that I wanted to do, but I need my pens and they're completely inaccessible at the moment. Inkless. Nisty had a pretty good Halloween Thursday. Went drinking. Did you wear your costume out to the club? You'd have worn your costume out to the club and people would be like, oh, do you not dress up for Halloween? And you'd be like, actually, I'm scariest person here. I'm scarier than you. Gotta love a jester. Snipe all these too. Okay, I think the outfit on this is what gave me a bit of confusion last time. Was it sleeveless at the top? No. So the sleeves are one connected part. I'm gonna be finished with these soon. Misty, you know what? You know that image of Joker with one tooth? I'm making that out of clay at school right now. What do you mean? And yeah, you had the basic fit on all night and it was freezing. because we were mostly in the park. Oh. Sometimes you have to brave the weather. I do that all the time where I'm like, it's too hot for this item or it's too cold for this item. But I want to look good, so I'm going to suffer. Did any of your friends also dress for Halloween? To be honest, it's kind of impressive you had the white fit in, the basic fit in, sorry, anyway. Astro Blaze, how many costumes did you wear for the event you don't celebrate? Squeaky didn't get to do his costume design because they sold out of his costume. And anything after that would have been like a really last minute guess. Said every cosplayer ever. Yeah. Look good, suffer. So I'm like alternating the line art thickness. I'm hoping it helps make it not look as overcomplicated. You know, like varying the thickness to try and make it less cluttered. What's on her legs? Oh, nothing. Nothing. I mean, it has ruffles, but nothing. Flying through. I'll move them up actually. Astro Rays, you wore the scariest costume ever of all. A retail worker uniform. Yeah, that is pretty scary. That's too scary. You'd have made children cry. Does your sister do trick-or-treating? I know you think you've mentioned that your family just don't celebrate, right? One and two. Okay, she's pretty sweet, actually. Time for the hats. I'm gonna try and angle it out a bit more. Yeah. Just so it's not overlapping her other pieces of clothing as much. Are you kidding me? It didn't sample the line art. Fine. There we go. Astro Blaze, yeah, my sister's too old for trick or treat and wouldn't enjoy it anyway. Momiku! There's all of them with line art, and now just this one and the Muscle Miku need to be coloured. So what's everyone's favourite Miku so far? Well, similarly with the Halloween questions, what's everyone's favourite candy? What's the worst treat to be given? Got a Q&A asking what your favourite Miku designs are. Oh, that's my software here. And go. Yes, perfect, beautiful. Perfect. Yeah, this one's getting shaded because it's funnier with more details. How should I... pay attention to like the wrinkles up here on this part of the eye. So like the triangle of shading up there. I want to keep the eye itself round. Could I get away with like the triangle shade under there? Seems like she's looking up maybe. Yeah. Just it's coming together. Mikudayo jump scare. Is Mikudayo, are you Mikudayoing because you witnessed her, or are you Mikudayoing because she's your favorite Miku? I know she's Carson's favorite Miku, along with Yababina. Shade the butt chin. Ooh, my line art's grew thin. Let's try it again. Let's move that to the right a bit more. No, her right, our left. Both. Oh, I'm hearing my phone beeping in the background. There really isn't enough arm to. There isn't enough arm on show to really like accentuate the biceps. Because when it comes to drawing muscle, I think when at least when I'm drawing it, a lot of the definition to make it obvious they're beefy comes in the shading. Our arms are a bit high up for that at the cut. This is very dumb. Miku Dayo. Give me your greys and your blues, Miku Dayo. Goki, hello. Interesting Miku here. Yeah, she's cute, right? She cute. Skelly. 7-Eleven Miku, better than Miku Dayo. That's true. I forgot about the grocery store Mikus. That really is a horror Miku. She's a retail worker. Trying to remember how I shade like the top knot on ties. I'll be fine. Yeah, I'm trying a bit harder with the shading on this one for no particular reason or biases. For those just joining. Cough cough bagoki. So it's like the light is at the front and towards the top a little, I think. We're quite near the end of all these Mikus, to be fair. Teeth, her little pin badge. See, this pin badge, realistically, probably just has her name written on it. What pop star walks around with a "Hello, my name is Miku" pin? Bit of a choice, right? Mm. Oh, I've not done the inside of her lip on this side. I want them darker. Let's go for that. Oh no, because we do the Chimera to do. I wonder what to do at the end of this then. Clock out, be like, that's it. Ending early, we're all done. Finished. Beautiful. But okay, November is here, and it's one of my least successful months. Actually, December also gets me too. Ah, do you mean like seasonal depression type stuff? I mean, I have an anniversary in November, and Squeaky has a birthday. And then I want to say a good quarter of the people I know, both friends and family, seem to have a birthday in December. Okay, Muscle Miku. This is quite an interesting pause game, honestly. Just getting rid of the references to make it go quicker. Goddish, pony. I need that one still. I like the reference of this one compared to what I drew. Before and after. So Liz, hi. Oh, I don't like what I opened stream to. Which one did you open stream to? Because you opened to like a lot of these could be the question. Was it static? Were you mad at static? Was it the leak Miku? Yamavina? Goddish? Battlecat? Which completely normal and regular Miku did you open stream to? Last one to colour, actually. How are you doing though, Solis? Okay, let's first work out where all the blue is. Left sleeve, middle piece, okay, and then these seem to go in some sort of blue-black pattern. And the bottom ones do not, okay. Oops. Solis, you're doing all right, and the one you were on before you started going through them. I'm going to assume you're mad at static. Was it you were on one and you were like, this is terrible, and then they all got worse? Solace, my birthday is on the 18th of this month, so I'm really excited. Also, the two-time plushie comes out on the 14th. Will you be getting the plushie? Will you be getting the plushie? Birthday present plushie? You know what? My Yishi plushie should be ready by now. I pre-ordered a Yishi, a voice synth from Butcher's Vanity. Where's my girl at? I want her to sit and watch my streams. Oops. Not quite. Starting with the Jester mask, or theatre mask. Yeah, this is definitely going to be one that benefits from having the shadows a bit more. I do think alternating the line art was a decent plan. You know, I just remembered we have chicken burgers in the freezer and I kind of want them, but then I also remembered we don't have burger buns, so now I'm sad. It's raining too, so it's not really the weather you'd want to run to the shop in. But we don't have cheese though. We don't have cheese either. Sorry, I'm thinking about other things. I'm like, cheese, got burgie, got a nothing. Oh, but we did get new appliances. That's something else that happened. We have had so many things just keep happening for the beginning of November. And one of them was, get this, in 1 week, in the same week, our washing machine, our oven, and our fridge freezer broke. In 1 week, same week. You need your fridge freezer because you need to store food. You need your oven because you need to cook food. And you need your washing machine because you need to wear clean clothing. And yeah, so like there was a moment where Squeaky was like, I mean, we could try and prioritize one that's most important. And it was like, I mean, yeah, but they're all busted and they're all important. It's not like it's a print, one of them's a printer and we can live without it. Um, so our equipment all broke, which means that Squeaky and I are now broke because we had to go and replace those things. Fortunately, they were all delivered today. And now we actually have like, it's nice to actually have, you know, new stuff because our old stuff was it was like secondhand. But we got to actually have a say and have something new that just works, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the things we did today as well. So in the first 4 days of November, Squeaky and I have replaced the fridge freezer, replaced the oven, replaced the washing machine. We had a small birthday get together on the 1st for Squeaky's birthday. We have had all of our stuff delivered today because, you know, the day going out to order and buy that stuff was exhausting. And now we've had them all in and fitted today. We've had a lot happen in 4 days. And amongst that, I've also been at the hospital on every day apart from today. So it's been half hospital, half whatever. Fighting for our lives over here. Pom pom. Solace, you will, and you're excited for it. You are getting the plushie. Is it for your birthday? Is it going to be a birthday present, or are you getting it as a treat? Both totally valid. I'm just curious. Bagoki, I have had half the people I have ran into call it a chicken burger and half a chicken sandwich. But more folks who call it a chicken sandwich are from the US. If I was offered a chicken burger, I'm expecting something like a cheeseburger, but with chicken, like breaded chicken or grilled chicken on a bun. If somebody offered me a chicken sandwich, I'd expect something more like a cold sandwich you'd find in a meal deal. like chicken mayo sandwich where it's like literally like some cooked chicken, cooked cold chicken sort of thing. Might be on like lettuce, mayo, sweet corn, that sort of thing, them sort of combos. That's what I would expect. I'm not saying it's the right or wrong answer. But yeah, chicken burger, by that I mean something more like a McDonald's burger but chicken. Oops. No, and I have to sample a colour again. Hit the wrong button. Stop. Colouring that bit of shadow. No, that bit of shadow. We got there in the end. Let's also recolour these on her chest. She's looking very cute. Very funky though. Okay, hair's next, but I want to change the pigment to be slightly different. Maybe a little bit greener, just to help it stand out against the mask is all. Her, her jester hat is mimicking her twin tails. That's really cute. Goki, dialect changes over distance and islands are interesting. It is interesting. That's why I thought I'd explain, because you seem you seem like you're generally a curious person, so I thought you might find it interesting to be like, oh well, for me, this is the difference we'd expect. We being Squeaky and I. You know, we have the same thing in England, so you can get like it has wildly different ways of describing it. So you know the bun that you would make a burger with, like a burger bun. There's something like that in England. It's not like a sesame seed bun thing, but that's kind of what it means, like a bread roll like that. And you can buy it, and it's like a ball of bread, and you slice it in half. And the reason I'm describing it so vaguely is because everywhere in England, there's a different word for it. And some of them are totally different. Like, I've never heard someone call it that before. But if I went closer to London, then I'd hear more people saying it. Like, I've traveled around quite a bit. So I've heard lots of different ways of addressing this piece of bread. But people have whole arguments over them. It is something I've mentioned on stream before. If you were there for that, I can like leave it there, but if not, I can get the picture up. That's all the different examples. But that's a dialect thing as well. So I think common terms I've heard for it is things like bread roll. Some people call it a bap, a barn cake. One of the ones that frustrate me a little bit is tea cake. Some people call it a tea cake, but a tea cake is factually a fruity bread piece that has like raisins in it. And I'm like, I'm not mad at you calling it that, but the concept of me saying, oh yes, I'll have a toasted tea cake, and then they give me some plain bread, no fruit, no cinnamon, I'd be mad. I'd be mad at that one. Abagoki, you don't think you remember hearing about that? Well, colour Miku's eyes, and then I can go and get it and show you. Because I remember at the time, people in stream said what they would call it as well in different countries. And it's like, oh, for us, it'd be this. I think dialect changes between English and American are quite interesting generally to me. Like, I've got American friends, and sometimes she'll message me as well with things, and she'll just be like, she'll text me a word and then be like, read that for me. What do you mean? And she'd text the like just like the word I've texted, read that to me. I think the one that cracked her up the most was aluminium. Aluminium, and she was like, "You mean aluminum?" And like she like screamed, and I was like, "Aluminium." And she was like, "No, it's aluminum." And I'm like, "What do you mean aluminum?" Oh my god, she creased. She was like, she took so much damage from that one, like psychic damage. I was like, aluminium is in England. But then the other way around was coupon and like Q. Con? You? It took me ages to try and make that sound. You like queuing for something? Cute. Oh, and her little teardrop. Let's get that. Nope, did that wrong. Such an easy job, and then I ruined it. Cute. Okay. We've got all the Mikus. I just need to make a bunch of assets saying their name and like export them, and I've got a new cursed Miku. Few people have said their favorite Miku design is Miku Dio. Bread roll names. Let's go. So I'm like, factually, what are they? What is the great bread debate of England? Astroblaze, you didn't do Jester Miku's cheeks. Oh no! Nice catch, Astroblaze. At least someone's conscious. This is the bread debate. So it's like a bread roll like that, but we've got different names. So tea cake is one that's weird to me because if you order a tea cake, this says West Yorkshire. Which part of Yorkshire have I been to? I never heard someone call it a tea cake. But yeah, tea cake is actually, it's like a sweet bread roll with cinnamon, other warm spices, and like raisins. And you toast it, put bread on, and now I really want some tea cakes. Damn it. So if I ask for a tea cake and I got a plain piece of bread toasted, I'm going to be very upset with that. Magoki, I would call those either buns or rolls. I think if you asked for a bun, if you came in and said, get me a bread roll, get me a bread bun, I know exactly what you mean. I think buns and rolls is what I would call them. I have never heard someone call it a cob. So East Midlands call it a cob. No. If someone asked me for a cob, I'd be like, do you mean like a corn on the cob? Like a corn? You mean you want an ear of corn? I would come back with corn. A barm cake, I know what you mean. I know what a barm cake is. If someone asks for a barra, no idea. No idea. If someone asked me for a bat, I'd understand that. Well, you mean like a bread roll, right? Bread cake. That would definitely get an eyebrow raise. I'd be like, do you want bread or do you want cake? What do you mean? Do you mean like bread pudding? Bread and butter pudding is a thing you can make that's kind of popular in England, especially with oldies. So I'd be like, do you mean like bread butter pudding? You mean like a dessert? If someone asks for a softie, no idea. If I have the context that it has to be food, I'd have to go with soft serve ice cream. I don't know. What's a softie? Someone said balm. I know what a balm is. I know I'd muffin. I'd ask them to specify. I'd be like, do you mean the cake or muffin? Without specification, I'd assume they mean like a large cupcake muffin. Bun. I know what a bun would be. A morning roll. No idea. Never heard that one. A stotty. Never heard of it. A batch. I would reply with a batch of what? How many? What? Not heard someone call it an oven bottom. I have heard people call it a roll. I've not heard anyone call it a scuffler. So some of these I'd mistake for other things like a tea cake and a muffin. But I have heard people call it farm cake, a balm, um, that, a muffin, I think I have heard. Because it's not just, they don't just say muffin, they'll specifically say I want a bread muffin. And then it's like, oh, well, I kind of know what you mean, but bun, morning roll. Some people call it bread roll. If they say bread roll, I know what you mean. But yeah, this is it. And it's like, it's just a piece of bread. And it's so interesting that depending on where you are in just England, and England is really small, especially relative to other countries. But they call it different things depending on where you're from. And it's very interesting because these are wildly different. How did we get from, where's scuffler come from? What's the context on that? What's a scuffler? Should I Google it? The name scuffler for a type of bread roll in Yorkshire likely originated from the word scuffle, a wooden tool used to clear ash from the floor of a wood-fired oven where these types of flat, large bread cakes were traditionally baked. Okay, well that makes a bit more sense. The Goki, I think I call it a pop more than a soda. Ah, do you guys call carbonated drinks differently? You interchange calling them soda or pop. Okay. I think for my generation, we call, and below, it's called soda. But the older generations seem to call it pop. Boomer generation up. I don't know. I think millennials are a little bit 50-50. I think millennials 50-50, boomers 100%, and then anything after that they keep going. They call it pop. And then younger generations call it soda. But it could be, I have read that there's been a lot of crossover with Americans cartoons teaching American slang and American terms for things to British kids. Like, we don't call the tap the faucet. I don't think the word faucet is used for anything in England, but you'll get like little kids that'll say it because of the type of cartoons they're raised on. Similarly, kids in America watching things like Peppa Pig are running around being like, "Oh, it's a tap," and talking with like British terms too. It's kind of funny. Obviously, they're going to repeat the words they're used to hearing, but it's still funny. What's another one? Sweaters and jumpers. They're the same thing. I think in England they're called a jumper, and in America they're called a sweater, but I always call them sweaters because it makes more sense. Why is it called a jumper? I ain't jumping. What's it jumping? Who's jumping? I'm not doing all that. But a sweater, if you wear it and it's too warm, you're sweating. It's keeping you warm, so it kind of makes more sense to me. But okay. Oh my god, I saw Peppo Miku. It's so cute. See if I can try and pause on her. Nope. 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 Got her. Shall I do a test and see which Miku I get? I'll have to look away and then hit pause. Oh, okay. Which Jamiku am I? Oh my god. Got the beautiful Peak Miku. This is Peak Miku. These really make some of them look quite normal. Realistically, I do need to get a little Neru to go in the background. I'm going to just adjust these into guide layers so that they don't interfere with stuff later when I'm exporting. I don't know, this was a lot more fun than just doing regular cutesy girlies. I could have just done stuff that's trending, but like this is more fun. Oh, can we hit 6 likes on the video? Thank you, everybody. Obviously, she's going to need some sort of flip phone based chibi, but we want her to be kinda to scale with the Miku and Teto. In other words, big head. You call it a sweatshirt. What other terms can you think of? I know another term one is like jam and jelly. So jam and jelly for you in America is the opposite over here. If you ask for jam, you're getting jelly and vice versa. And I can kind of see how that one happened because they're kind of similar. One that I don't understand is flapjacks and pancakes. Those are drastically different. But they are the reverse. So if you over here you'd have pancakes for breakfast and they'd be like the soft, fluffy cake. And if you have a flapjack over here, you're having the oats bar with like syrup. So this will be her flip phone. I'll need to get a Neru reference, I think, for the outfit. Kind of want the little arm to be smaller though. I know she's got her side pony though. God, why did I just like scribble that? I like gave up as I did it. But yes, I need to get my ongoing projects finished as much as I can. And the art that I owe people to. Speaking of sweatshirts, you got a new one the other day and it's so comfy. I'm glad. Is it cool? I recently got a bunch of cool new button-up shirts. They've got like skeletons on it. One of them have skeletons and yokai on it, and the other is like blue with a bunch of skeletons out fishing. They also have a couple of yokai though. Neru, I need you. I'm just trying to get a picture of her. This is a lot of clicking and web links just to get a little picture, honestly. It's not even that big. Teto, vanished. But okay, maybe plants in garbage cans, but I adopted the term garbage bins recently. It makes more sense, but I think it's only because the older trash containers were like metal cans. Ah, that's true. Trash and garbage are different terms. So I think trash is the American term and garbage or rubbish is the English term. So bin is also a word we use. I think the idea of trash cans makes more sense if you imagine a big metal tin can. But for us, it's bins. And you could say the phrase, take the bins out, take the garbage out, take the rubbish out. But usually it'd be take the bin or take the rubbish. Empty the bins. I noticed in like American cartoons, it's like the worst chore in the world is taking out the bin. I never got that. Well, actually, no. I kind of do. I mean, in my own house, I keep the bin relatively structured. It's clean. I don't know what else to say. You don't have to go out your way for it. But in my parents' house, oh boy, they like overfill the bin and stuff. It's pretty gross. So realistically, yeah, if you're the one getting told take the bin out, but the rest of the house has made the bin really grotty, then yeah. I don't want to touch a grotty bin. I just want to lift the handle and take it out, you know? Neru's design is very pointy, just saying. Like that. Actually, I kind of want to make the phone open. It's a bit more iconic that way, right? Make it slightly larger. She's like pulling receipts. Like, I have proof you did that. I have proof you said that. Never mind, stop nagging me. Now you've nagged her too much and she's getting ready to cancel you online. You, Abagoki, I think there's a difference between what we call stuffed and baked potatoes. Baked potato, jacket potatoes. I've heard that's made a few people mad. If someone here asked for a baked potato, I'd know what they mean, but that's not the phrase you really hear. I don't know if it's just an area dialect thing, but on menus and stuff, it's always listed as a jacket potato. Think of it like the skin on the potato is like a little jacket. I kind of don't want it to be so mad. I do want it to look like she's about to like pull out a receipt and like, gosh. She's either about to prove, no, you did say that and I have proof, or she's like, look at this meme, look at this cat video. Okay, Neru's might be my favorite chibi now. All these projects have definitely given me a bigger appreciation for Neru. Neru's like, I appreciate getting any attention at all. Just like Pebble, actually. There's Teto. Yeah, I just kind of called the boots in full. Flip. It definitely works for the purpose it needs to serve. Okay, Teto, how much thickness is your line art? That. You can look, Teto, you can go down there. Bugolki, in the US, when you bring up tea, it's almost always assumed it's Southern style iced tea. And if you want actual hot tea, you got to specify it's British or just hot tea. I don't know if it's like that there or not. Oh, over here, if you ask for a tea and they assume you want some sort of iced tea from like Costa or something, they're going to get angry. I don't think everyone will get angry, but I feel like a lot of the older generations will be like, they're really judgy. The old people here are really judgy. They're really judgy and kind of entitled. I don't know. If you order a tea over here without any extra context, so like you've walked into a cafe and asked for a cup of tea, then you will be getting hot leaves, basically. Odds are, if you're asking for tea in England, it's safe to assume you want a hot tea. You would definitely 110% need to specify if you want anything themed like iced teas or anything different. If you ask for tea here, no one's going to assume you mean like an iced tea. I guess someone might ask you what kind of tea is the question you'd get, because we have a lot of different kind of tea. Like you don't have to go to a special store to get different types of flavors of tea. They're pretty common. You just go to a fairly large store and be like, hey, I want tea. And they'll be like, oh, cool. Do you want like Yorkshire or PG? Or do you want something flavored like Earl Grey or specific? Do you want fruity, herbal, matcha type? Everyone's going to assume you want a hot tea. But it's kind of interesting. I don't think you'd get served the wrong thing because there's that much tea varieties in cafes and in stores. If you led with just saying, hey, can I have some tea? The first thing they do is ask you what kind of tea you mean. And then if you were like, I'm looking for iced tea, they wouldn't be surprised because they'd be like, yes, a tea variant. Okay. Like they won't be shocked. It's like I don't think they'd really be too. It depend on the restaurant you're in. Where if you walked in, I was like, "Hey, what drink would you get?" Like, and if you were like, "I'd like an iced tea," I don't think they'd judge you in that regard. They're just like, "We don't have that," unless they do. But your best bet for themed teas would literally be actual coffee shops and cafes. I don't even drink tea that much. It's just, I live here, so I know what it looks. I know what the shops do. Like, I'm sure there are individuals that would assume if you say, "Can I have some tea?" they would think of iced tea first. Like, I'm not saying that. But going off the logic of what would an average person reply with is what I'm trying to do here. Like I say, I think they just ask what kind, and then your problem would be solved. You know, it'd be a cool job. Just animating Vocaloid music videos. I would take that job. Who wants to become a Vocaloid artist and who wants me to come and animate for their productions? Hmm. Sorry, this Teto song playing right now is a bop. I like went quiet because I was listening to the lyrics. I nearly forgot her ponytail. I was about to be like, I think she's finished. No, she's bald. You're not finished. Agoki America got too dependent on coffee. I think typically everywhere is pretty I think it's more of a capitalism consequence than anything. Got to think about the 9 to 5, the work grind, and then that being combined with people getting unpaid lunch breaks. So it's like they don't get paid for their lunch. They're tired and they've worked a whole shift. So it's like, what do you do? I'm sure there are plenty of people that don't want to have like coffee for dinner and coffee for lunch, but they don't really have much of a choice, to be fair. But if it's what you've got time for and you're tired, realistically, not eating properly will also make you tired. Those calories help wake you up. Hi, Squeaky. I see you.
Hi, I was in the hallway.
Yeah, I could hear you.
You saying I'm heavy-footed?
I heard little pitter patters
Oh,
of your feet.
okay. Hi, chat.
You okay?
Tired.
Okay. Let's use those colours from Teto's mouth. Yes, I like this expression more. Someone asked if she had games on her phone, and she's like, absolutely. Keep these games on my phone. see. I'm zoomed in too much. Let's zoom out a bit. Y'all can't see what I'm doing. But we'll have a little Neru, and she will jump and cheer in the background of these videos as well, because in the last one it was Neru's music video. No, Neru's pause game. And then there was a little chibi Teto and Miku in the background, so that's what this Neru's for. She may also have a jumping chibi in the background. Oops, eraser please. Is that colour even dark enough? Is my opacity dipped? It has! Oh my gosh. There we go. I hate when it does that. Sometimes the brush opacity just like nerfs itself. It's annoying. Bagoki, I've recently started watching Bochi the Rock. What's Bochi the Rock? For a moment, I misread it as Boji, and I was excited that you were watching Ranking of Kings, because Ranking of Kings is really good. Is he literally a rock? Is Bochi like a little rock with a face like the rock from Over the Garden Wall? Do we get rock facts? Cute. Look how these ones literally just got mostly scribbles. Such up. I feel like you'll know it already. Okay. I'll search in a moment. Let's color this first. Looking pretty sweet. Oh, I've not saved any of this. Let's go. Bochi? Two O's or was it two C's? I know there's a double in there. Two C's. Oh, I recognize the pink one. I've seen the pink girl before. Google Images is giving me the impression it's about some school kids that have formed a band. Nope, that's Adobe Animate. I need the Photoshop. You know, the question is still what's your favorite Miku design, so now is a great time for someone to drop yellow Miku. Neru joke for the people at Hano to wear. A lot of people don't know who Neru is, and a common ask is, as common assumption is she's just yellow Miku. And it's like, yes and no. Yes, and also not quite. But yeah, how's school and work going for everyone, by the way? Anyone in chat got homework they need to be doing and they've not done? A similar check is if everyone in chat has had them any due medication, if you've eaten or drank anything today. I know usually when I stream, people have just gotten home from like work or school. Quite a lot anyway. So it's a pretty good reminder to be like, don't forget, feed yourself. I've actually just finished my drink. I did have one. We've almost finished the Neru. Yay. To be fair, it is a really, really, really simple drawing, so speed. Actually, I don't know. Got quite a bit done. We got the Mikus all coloured and finished. Two of the Mikus needed line art and colour. All four of them needed colour. Two of them needed line art. And now we've like speed run this chibi too. So I think that's all the fun assets finished for the meme. I need to type up the less fun asset of all of the names and credits for the different Mikus. Important because, you know, artists should lift up and shout out other artists. We should, you know, we need to fight against AI by rooting for each other. But at the same time, it's not the most entertaining part of, you know, which is fair. It's just a bunch of writing, you know? So it's like, absolutely shout out and do it and credit where it's due and all that sort of stuff. Lift each other up. Still a bit boring. Even when it's just my own credits, I'm not even biased. It's like, even if it's like all my work and all my own credits, it's like Jcrow did this, Jcrow did that. Boring. I would rather be drawing the cute characters, personally. Cute characters, cute patterns, cute backgrounds. It's a bit. Sort of like 3D modeling and 3D animation. Fun. Rigging your character and programming UV maps. Less fun. Tweening animation. Fun. Rigging your model and getting all the layers in order correctly. A little bit less fun. Like, there's the fun side and the little bit less side of everything, really. Hi again, Taff. How you doing? Bakoki Red Miku. You're procrastinating homework and you're scared that your grades will go down during the winter like they always do, and now the grades matter more than ever because you're in a first year of high school. Oh! Well, congrats on moving up to high school. Maybe you could do a little bit of your homework as a treat to yourself, to future Bagoki. But hello again there, Tav. How have you been? What were you up to? A bit darker. I'm colouring in line art now. I'm being quite messy at the minute because a lot of this isn't done. In fact, I'm pretty sure most of this we can just yellow it because there's more yellow on this than anything else, right? So let's work backwards from yellow instead of the pink. It's just going to be easier. But I don't see why I shouldn't have this particular video finished this week and out, published. I do have a lot, like I keep saying, a lot of like fun Jack and Colby concept art and stuff to post. I'm just like hesitating on it. I also have like a bunch of extra Neru art for the video thumbnails. I've drawn them, I've just not uploaded the thumbnails, which is silly. It's like part of me wants to take time to neaten up all the little messy corners on this, but I'm also aware of how tiny they're going to be on a screen. Really, really tiny, really on the corner, and really like quick appear on and off. And I'm like, it's just like a silly little meme piece. So they don't need to be too intense, you know? Taff, one of your friends lives next to your niece's mum's house. Okay. Isn't that good? Your friend's nearby. Isn't that a good thing? That sounds like a good situation, right? Your friend? Abagoki, thinking about final exams stresses me out, especially when I'm not understanding current assignments. Yeah. Exam season just isn't fun, generally. Which subjects is it that are stressing you out the most, Bagoki? Or would you prefer not to discuss it right now? Or are you trying to like chill? I'm sure you'll pull through because you're very smart, you're very focused, and from what I've read in like Discord, you can really lock in when the subject does interest you. So I know that the subjects might be a bit staler than stuff that interests you, like space and weather and all that sort of thing. But I'm sure you can lock in. I'm sure you'll be able to do it. My pen died. Tough. And you're crashing out, spilling your water. You're making a swimming pool? What are you making a swimming pool indoors for? Don't do that. Unless you've got waterproof floorboards, then I guess you stand a chance. You know what, I might just bring the same orange onto this as the hair because it's like really dark anyway. For the inside line art, or just, it looks so, I feel like I'm losing the details because again, it's that notion of it's going to be very small on a zoomed out screen. So maybe if we do the colored line art on the inside, match the exterior color a little and see how that looks. Yeah, I think that makes it a lot easier to read. That's way better. We're going for that. Okay. We got Neru. Colored line art, no colored line art. Pretty cute. No line art at all. Tough. English or Spanish? And like, okay, English and Spanish stress me out the most because I'm not good at understanding stories and stuff for the first time reading them. And Spanish and Spanish. Spanish is Spanish, yeah. I have faith in you. Is the Spanish mandatory? In my schools, languages were only mandatory up to a certain point, and then you could choose to continue them or not. It became a choice. Okay, so Teto, I'm pretty sure, does not have any. Yeah. Artistic interpretation, Neru. I'm going to save her real quick. Ah, Taff, you mean the English or Spanish meme, don't you? Don't move. Unless. Boom, chibi Neru saved and ready. Okay, so all the assets are ready to be exported on the animation side too. Oh, my pen is deceased. To be fair, everything has been finished now. If we swap back over to the animation. So this is all finished. The extra Neru is finished. It needs text and then we're good. So I can probably start assembling this animation now. Okay, I took it earlier in 8th grade, so now I'm in Spanish 2 and my peers are mostly in Spanish 1. Well, that sounds like you're doing well then. It's mandatory for doing 2 languages. I see. It sounds like you're already doing well if you're already above your class. So apparently, which folder is this even going into? Well, the Mikus are ready at least. I've just sent the file over to Adobe Media Encoder to like do the boring side of it. Let's take a quick look at the Kingdom Bagoki. You are the monarch. Taff, you are the heir to the throne. And Nisty, knight in shining armor. Ooh. Sorry, my software was doing a thing. We have reached the end of the stream, everybody. Thank you all for joining in. It's been lovely finishing off this subject. So this is the last you're going to see of the Which Miku Are You on the lives. All the assets are completed. Shout out to everyone we've seen in the chat today. So Bagoki, wonderful talking with you. Taff, great to see you too. And Nisty, Annabeth's Yankees Cap, Astra Blaze Animations, Mochi, Squeaky Clean, Skelly, who was first in chat today. And I think they changed their username, Solace, maybe? Thank you all for joining the stream. The streaming schedule is Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. UK time. Depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Have a great day or sweet dreams. Bye bye.